Welcome to making an MapleStory music video in After Effects Part 2. So, I'm back again. I just were outdoor with Missing People Sweden and we were searching for a guy and we found him. So, mission complete. And now I'm back on track. I hope you have joined Hennessy's.tk. It's a great forum, and now we are going to continue with the tutorial. In the previous tutorial, if you haven't seen it, please go and check it out. If you have, we are going to continue. What we did last time was to create a project. We saved it in Google Drive, so it's secured there, and we created a composition named intro. However, we will not be creating the intro right now. We are going to create a new composition instead. This one you want to make scene 1, and you can have it the duration whatever you want. We will go for 30 seconds. You can always change this, but I used to take longer than shorter, so I just used to shorter down the compositions. We also wanna make another composition. This depending on the song or whatever file you are going to add it to. If you are making a MapleStory music video, you are going to have some music to it, and then you're making the composition to the music. So we're gonna make this a final composition. We name it final, and duration music used to be 3 minutes, so we are going to have 3 minutes. So I'm just going to show you here how I set up my projects. So I make a scene. So this is scene 1, and I'm going to build up this scene with backgrounds and putting characters and stuff like that, and then I'm going to make another composition for scene 2 and making the scene 2, and in final I will simply just put in all those scene layers and just make a video out of it. And I will also put in the intro. So the intro I always can already now just insert, but the intro we don't really have anything created yet, and we want, because right now we are going to work with scene 1. So be sure you are on scene 1. If to be sure, you can just double click on scene 1 and it will appear here. You can close the other ones if you want, if it will be confusing somehow. So what I also like to do to the scene 1, I want to know which files I'm using to scene 1. So I'm going to make a folder named scene 1. So here I'm going to place all the files to scene 1. So I simply have somewhat an order. I'm going to go to the computer. We are going to get some of the sprite image right now. I got my sprites at the C hard drive under MapleStory sprites, and I will probably be able to upload those if you want them. I will probably have them in the description, and they will also be on Hennessy's.tk, so join that forum. So what we're gonna do, this is the background folder. Oh, I remember. I'm gonna actually go into Google Drive first, to MMV, the Fox. This is an MMV I'm currently working on, and I got some grass here that I already have kind of made on. So I want this grass, so I'm gonna copy it, Control C, and I'm going back. Here's the MMV. This is the MMV, that the project that we are working in. Here I want to create a new folder. You want to create, name this whatever you want to name it. I used to name it to EMG, which means image, or you can just write image, and we're gonna paste this image we were just copying, and we want to drag it from this new folder to scene 1. So here we got the grass. Now, by the way, to actually move this around like this, you just hold down the space bar and you get this hand and you can move it around. So now we are going to drag in this. We can either just drag it to the scene here or down to the layer. So you just take it down to the layer here. Now as you can see here, we got some here, we got the mode, we got some TRK mat and the parent. Press on F4 button and it will be switching to some other stuff. This one is 3D layer. This one we want to take in. So take that one in and this layer becomes a 3D layer. And in order to actually see this in 3D, because now it's kind of like 2D, and of course you can kind of rotate it, and that's kind of quite 3D, I guess. But we are going to create a camera. So we go layer, new, camera, or you can use this shortcut key that I really never been using. I probably won't even remember that shortcut. So we go in the camera, everything, don't change anything unless you know what you do, you know. You can try to change anything, but I used to have this not to change anything. Now we have a camera, and to rotate the camera we got the camera here. Click and hold it and you will see several options to do. You can pan the camera. So in order to do this, you're gonna move to the right or left. So to zoom in, I do to the right, and to zoom out, I do to the left. To swap quickly between those, as you can see, there is a C. So press C button and you will see the top one is changing, and so do it here. So I can simply just check it out like that, down, see, and that's like something else, yeah. And this is like to rotate, and you can see, well, it's 3D. So if you happen to mess up like something like this, you're like, oh, I'm messing around, and well, Control Z, Control Z, or whatever it's called, the redo maybe don't work somehow. You can go to the camera, down here, and on the trees transform here we got the reset button, and it comes to the beginning of how you had this when you added the camera. So now we are going to move this in the Y axis. So we wanna add some more elements to this one, more sprites. And first I'm going to show you the position of this. This is a 3D layer, as I say, so it has 3 types. It has X, Y, and Z. So press on the layer and press P. It will bring up the position, and here we got X, Y, and Z. So the Z is simply this one, and I always used to start mine at 0, which is by default when you add in stuff. So if we want to add another object and have it in the background, let's find us first another object that is in the background. So we're going to, where I have my sprites, we're going to the back one, Amoria. No. I'm going to find something that maybe matches this one just a little. Well, this one does, the folk village. So we pick those. I doesn't used to drag those to the folder because I always have all those files on my C drive on all the computers that I'm using, so I won't do that. So I will just drag those to the scene 1, and I will drag them in here. And first of all, I won't make them 3D layers right now. I wanna connect those. I can do this in Photoshop or any other image software. We just wanna be sure to connect those so they are just line with each other. That doesn't look pretty right, but whatever. It does quite a great job anyway. I'm gonna add one more, or do we? There's just two there. Well, that's enough, I guess. So now we want to make both of those 3D layers. So both, I had both selected, and that's why they both make 3D layer. If you select one, you can just turn on all the 3D layers on it. So you can press on those to cover the positions and stuff. So on these back ones though, we wanna drag them to the bottom because they are on the very back and we want them to be on the bottom to be sure nothing goes crazy. So select both of them and press P and try to deselect them because I know it used to be some issues. So just press on the camera or something like else so you got just one of those selected. Go back, or you can just type in a number here, just click on that one and type in maybe minus 200. Oh, that was the wrong way, sorry. Well, let's try type 500 to make it look something. And this one also going to be 500. So they are in place. If you really want to make sure those stay together, we can go to layer, new, and make a null object. This is simply some kind of, well, I don't know how to explain it, but you take the pick whip of the both of back layers. These aren't needed, but if you have it like this, so you got the null object selected, those one are parented to the null object, so you can simply just move the null object and it will simply move both of those. I think we have to make the null object to a 3D layer as well, so we can simply drag it to the front and back. So have it just like this. Have that. If you don't want to use the null object, we can delete it. We just select both of those, select, and press down shift to select the other one. And we take one of those, doesn't matter which, and we can just drag them however we want them, but we want them to be like something like that. So now we want to make a background. You can make a new layer, go here up, layer, new, solid. This one wanna be the background. I wanna call it BG. It doesn't matter which color it is because I thought of making a ramp. So here's the background layer. Just drag it down to the bottom so it's on the bottom. We don't want to make the background layer a 3D unless you really want it, but if you are making it a 3D, you may need to resize it and make it bigger than just the screen size. But for now we are not going to make it a 3D layer. Instead we're going to effect, generate, and ramp. So this will create a ramp effect. We want maybe to make some kind of bluish color. Yeah, and that one can stay white. Something like this, maybe. So that looks quite alright. You can add clouds or whatever you want. We can go and select this camera one to track the camera tool, the pan, whatever it's called, and you can see this is one in 3D space. If you happen to see like quality is very bad, You can check on this if it's on full, because if you put it on quarter, you see it looks like, yeah, doesn't look good. I was about to swear there. I'm not going to try to swear that much in this videos. So this is it. You can see it's quite a scene, and you just keep on adding things, and you just keep on adding, like, yeah, we want a cloud, whatever. Wait, go in project first. And we're like, oh, we want a cloud. We just put it into the scene, and just drag it down here, and drag it where it is, you know, the further back in the layers it should be, because that just makes sure it doesn't happen anything weird. And to actually move those clouds, be sure you have this one selection tool selected, and press on P to go position. And if you remember, those backgrounds were 500 pixels back, so this one maybe further back, maybe 1,000. And if you happen to have a like very far back, let's say like 5,000, and you see like, oh, the cloud went too small, then you just can resize it by holding down shift button and just drag it out, and you know the quality won't be that much worse anyway. But 5,000 is way too much, I think. Like 1,500 as maximum, I think, for this project. Oops. Oh, I'm forgetting to eat my ice cream here. It starts to melt. Alright, so I'm going to try now and see how things move. You see, it's really in 3D. It's great. You put your characters there in front or wherever you want it. You can sweep it front and back and stuff like that. I'm gonna see the video. Oh my god, it's 17 minutes. Time goes fast. I wonder if I can put this up on YouTube. I hope so. So this is this guy. So check out the next tutorial. I will probably make it quite soon. Have a nice day. Remember to actually save the file, to go copy and save. I mean, to file and save, or control and S. Doesn't really matter, at least as you save it time to time. That's it. Thank you for watching. Watch the next video that will come up pretty soon, I guess. I hope. See you.